Welcome to this special breaking news edition of Hannity. I'm Tammy Bruce in for Sean. So tonight, terror in New Orleans. Just after 3 a.m., an apparent Islamic extremist named Shamsud-Din Jabbar was behind the wheel of a white pickup truck loaded with weapons, potential explosives, and festooned with an ISIS flag. When he drove around police barricades and onto Bourbon Street, where Jabbar rammed into a crowd of revelers celebrating the new year. After crashing, Jabbar then exchanged fire with police and was killed in the shootout, but not before he was able to murder at least 15 innocent people, while injuring dozens of others, including 2 responding police officers. But according to the authorities, Jabbar did not act alone, as police are now on the hunt for a range of suspects and are investigating multiple possible other explosive devices placed around New Orleans. Here now with the very latest from New Orleans, Garrett Tenney is with us. Garrett.
Yeah, Tammy, one of the top priorities for investigators right now is determining whether or not Jabbar acted alone in planning out or carrying out this attack, because if he didn't, that would mean there would still be the possibility of additional attacks like the one we saw this morning. One update we do have along those lines in our reporting is that investigators had been looking at surveillance video from earlier that showed 3 men and 1 woman who appeared to be placing improvised explosive devices around the French Quarter. We are now told, sources telling our own David Spunt, that police interviewed those 4 individuals and now believe that they just were bystanders who happened to look suspicious. That being said, we do know bomb squads have searched the French Quarter. It detonated multiple IEDs that were left in the area. Also, right now in Houston, Texas, just a few hours away, a SWAT team from the FBI and local police have surrounded a house on the north side of the city. We're told that house is in some way connected to this morning's terror attack and that they are concerned there could be explosive devices inside that home. So police have been clearing out everyone who lives nearby before they move in. We know the 42-year-old suspect lived in Houston at some point, but again, not clear if this is his home or the home of someone else who is connected to him. We also want to show you this video showing the beginning of this attack, and it is hard to watch. You can see this white truck jumping a curb into a crowd of people on Bourbon Street right in front of a police car that was blocking the entrance before taking off down the road, plowing through the crowds of people who were out celebrating. Then this other video shows the moments right after the attack, looking down on Bourbon Street from a balcony where several lifeless bodies are laying in the road. People who were celebrating moments earlier are running around trying to figure out what to do. The death toll right now stands at 15 people and more than 30 others were injured. All day, the coroner's office has had vans coming out of the scene, bringing those bodies out throughout the day. Just this past hour, we saw them bring out the final of those bodies. This is still very much an active crime scene here. They are asking folks to stay away, again, as you mentioned, in part because of concerns there could be potentially additional IEDs that were left in this area that police simply have not found yet. Wow. Tammy?
Garrett, a horrible story. Important details. We're going to get into all of that tonight. Thank you very much for your reporting all night and all day today. Still more questions, obviously, than answers. For more details from Washington, let's now bring in David Spunt. David.
Well, President Biden not at the White House tonight. He's at the presidential retreat at Camp David. But, Tammy, he has been receiving updates from the highest levels of law enforcement, the FBI, DOJ, DHS, and other intelligence agencies all day today. He gave an address to the American people from Camp David just a few hours ago. Watch.
The FBI also reported to me that mere hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that is inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill. The ISIS flag was found in his vehicle, which he rented to conduct this attack.
That 42-year-old suspect also served in the military, specifically in the U.S. Army, even deploying to Afghanistan for almost a year in 2009. Authorities continue, Tammy, to go through his social media and all known contacts as they believe others are well aware of his plans in advance. Now, meanwhile, the man who's moving into this White House behind me in less than 3 weeks, President-elect Donald Trump put out a statement on social media earlier today that reads in part as follows: "Our hearts are with all the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil." The president-elect in that statement also said that criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, end quote.